I suddenly found a dead woman lying on my bed. The sheets were covered in bloodstains. One of her hands was handcuffed to the railing. Her other hand had a deep gash from a knife. I was instantly terrified and panicked. Not long ago, I bought this luxury loft with 4 of my good buddies, but now it had turned into a murder scene. Right then, James rushed in. I didn't say anything. I just raised my hand and pointed at the bed. That's when he saw a strange woman lying on the bed. He nervously walked up to her, but he said he didn't know this woman at all.
How the fuck did they get in? What was it, a window, a door? Windows are sealed, the door was locked, the alarm was turned off. But that'd mean that someone got in with one of our keys.
Right at that moment, William also rushed over. Seeing the woman on the bed, he was extremely shocked too, but he quickly calmed down. He suspected the killer might be David, because his phone kept going straight to voicemail. He was about to call the police, but James immediately stopped him, because each of us had secretly brought women we liked here for hookups. If our wives found out about this, we'd be totally screwed. While we were arguing, Robert showed up too. When he saw the scene, he was absolutely terrified. He seemed to have no idea what happened. At this point, William mustered up the courage to walk toward the bed. He slowly turned her body over, finally getting a clear look at her face. But they all said they didn't know this woman. Now the only possible killer was David, because William had called David countless times, but no one ever picked up. Just when we were at a loss, Robert suddenly discovered something terrifying. The killer had written a message in blood behind the pillow. We were all stunned. It said, "Fate binds us together." It seemed to hint that this murder was connected to all of us. Then he found a bloody knife next to the body. And right then, David silently walked into the room. I immediately rushed over to him, but he seemed to have no idea what was going on.
Did you have anything to do with this?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Just answer the fucking question. Did you do this?
Of course not. Jesus.
Were you here last night?
Oh man, I wasn't here last night. I slept at my in-laws. You don't believe me? Call Vicky.
What about this morning? Were you here this morning?
I was at a project site, all right? With my father-in-law.
Now everyone was saying they weren't the killer, but this place had been specially modified. Only the 5 of us could get in. James believed the killer had to be one of us, to prove our innocence. We all pulled out our keys, but William looked extremely panicked at this moment. Under James's questioning, he gave an explanation. Turns out he knew this woman. A few days ago, he brought this woman here for a date and fell in love with her. When they parted, he gave the woman his key, but when the woman left, she got into another man's car, just as they were wondering if that man was the killer. I said something that shocked everyone.
I need to say something.
I led them to the loft's basement. I had secretly installed a monitor here, and I had secretly installed cameras on the ceiling. When they found out I'd been secretly recording them, everyone became extremely angry. At this moment, James urgently asked me if I had captured the killer on camera last night. What I said made him instantly panic.
Now you're scared, aren't you? Now you know I've documented